In this tutorial segment, we're going to talk about trading futures spreads, mostly calendar spreads. For example, if you're looking to trade July corn versus December corn or something like that, you can also use this as a way to roll your futures contracts that are expiring. For example, if you're holding a May corn future and you want to continue holding that future, but we're coming into the first notice day and you need to roll to July, you can use this tutorial as a method of doing that. So you can roll from May to July, or you can just trade a spread outright. Let's get started. We are looking at the page titled DT Futures Spreader. And again, this is a page that we built for DeCarly trading clients, thus DT. If you are a client of ours or you're running a demo with us and you'd like to have access to this page, just send us an email and we'll get it to you. You can simply upload it into your platform, your demo or live platform, assuming you're one of our clients or followers. Your platform may look a little different. This is the default layout of the StoneX platform. Obviously, we've created some other pages. This is, once again, mitigate any confusion. This is DT Futures Spreader. Okay, the reason we've built the page this way is all of the widgets are linked together. We can look at individual futures markets. For example, I have gold highlighted. I'm going to highlight silver. And you'll notice that when I highlight silver, my chart changes to silver. And my futures matrix, or my spread matrix, changes to silver. And you'll notice that there's a matrix here that has spreads between March and April, March and May, March and June, or if you go down to the next row, April, May, April, June, so on and so forth. So this is a very, very convenient way to trade future spreads. If I click on one of these squares, it highlights this particular spread. This is the March and April spread for silver. So this is March, April, silver. Let's go to a complex that is a little more popular for spread traders. So let's go to the grains. I'm going to click on my grains tab up here. The top section of the page is the quote board. This quote board is identical to the quote board that I've created for our other pages, DT View, so on and so forth. So if you click on the grains, it's going to show you, obviously, grain futures. There's columns for buys and sells, open positions, P&L. So if I did have open positions here, you would see them listed right here on the quote board. I can also see high, low, all that sort of stuff. But the purpose of this quote board here at the top of the screen is to easily navigate future spreads with a single click. I'm going to click on corn, and you'll notice that my chart updates. This is the May corn chart because that's what I have selected. And then I can go to my futures matrix and I see I've got May, July corn spread in this square. If I click on it, my chart populates for the May, July spread, which is trading about 6.5, 7, actually about 7 cents, 7.25 cents. You can see the quote here. The top level is the ask, second is the bid. Last trade, 7 cents. Settlement, previous settlement, 7.5. So pretty quiet today. A lot of these spreads in the grains really don't move that much until they do, and that can be a problem. So once again, we'll notice if we follow the row along, it changes from May to September, May to December, May to March. So you've probably caught on that each row represents a particular contract, and then each column represents a particular contract, and where they intersect is where the spread is. So right here I have September corn here in this top row, and then I have July corn here. The spread between those are right here in the matrix where they intersect. So this is a July-September spread. I've got it highlight it, and if I put my cursor over the top symbol, it gives me a little more information. I am in a demo account, so it does say 10-minute delay. One thing I'm going to point out is if you see this little clock icon, that means you're working on 10-minute delays, or more specifically, if you see the clock icon, it's a delayed data. And if you see the 10M, that's 10 minutes, so 10-minute delayed. But for our purposes, this isn't going to be consequential. I have the July-September highlighted. My chart is that particular spread. So let's say that we want to trade the July-December spread. The first thing we're going to do is find our July row, which is right here, and then we're going to find the December. I've clicked on it. It's now loaded my chart. I can see that this spread has moved relatively little over the last month or so, but it does occasionally see some volatility. Right now, the spread's trading at roughly 16 cents. We can see that on our chart. And we can see that also because I have this highlighted, it populates the order ticket above. Now, this is where the spread matrix is extremely convenient. You don't have to build a spread. You don't have to load anything. All you do is click on the spread you want to trade. And again, it shows you at the top, July, December. If you don't know that the symbols of the month, if you don't know N is July and Z is December, you can put your cursor over the top row and it actually spells it out for you. You can see corn calendar spread, 1 July, 1 December. And you also see that the relationship to each other. So if we bought this spread, we would be buying the July and selling the December. If we sold this spread, we would be selling the July and buying the December. We have a very convenient order entry ticket right up here at the top of the matrix. If you don't like the limited version of the order ticket here at the top of the spread matrix, you can use an order ticket, a full bodied order ticket. I've entered it into this page. If I click here and I select this spread, it populates the ticket and I can choose buy or sell, limit order, stop order, day, good till canceled, so on and so forth, just like we would any other page or product type. I prefer to use these very simple buttons here at the top of the spread matrix. And again, I can see the ask is 17 cents, the bid is 16 3/4 cents. So if I wanted to buy on a limit, I could click this button and that enters an order at the price that I have displayed right here. See, we're trying to buy this spread at 17. Here's the limit price I had there, which happens to be the ask. So it's going to go right through. And it also gives me the ability to confirm I'm buying the July and I'm selling the December. So there's no confusion. I'm going to place the order. And because it was at the ask, obviously, it was filled right away. And actually, we got better than expected, which is a nice surprise. We were filled at 16.5. If we wanted to liquidate that spread, we could click the sell button. I'm going to toggle down to 16.5. And you'll notice when I do that, when I change the price up or down, it might add the ability to sell at a stop or sell on a limit. And that has to do with where the current price is versus where my order is. I'm going to sell on a limit at 16.5, which is probably going to also get filled pretty quickly. This time I'm buying the December and selling the July. Okay, something that's going to be probably useful information for you is you can add the spread that you're trading into your quote board so that you can see your positions here on this page. Now, the page that I built is intended to display your open positions up here so that you can easily view, monitor, trade in and out of, deal with any orders that you have working. But the only way this is going to work is if you have the correct symbols in your quote board. So the way to get the symbol for this spread, again, I'm going to highlight the July-December spread. And I'm going to go over and click this information icon. Once I do that, it gives me this spread. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to add it to my quote board by simply pasting it. And it gets dropped here at the bottom, but I'm going to go up here. Now, you're going to see it has an order, the sell order working. We can see that right here in this column. We don't see the open position, and the reason for that is we're long one future and we're short another, and we need to put the individual legs of the corn spread right here in the quote board. So let's do that real quick. Any symbols added to the quote board automatically go to the bottom, so I'm just going to drag them to the top here so we can easily see what we're doing. And again, everybody has different ideas. You may not want a tab that just has grains. You might want a tab that's just corn, just soybeans. So this is a little less hectic. Just depends on the type of trading you're doing. You can easily rename these tabs, delete them, reorganize them. You don't have to have them laid out exactly how we do. This is just a starting point. But now we have our quote board built correctly. We can see our position. We're short 4 December corn. I'm going to spread this out a little. We're long 4 July corn. We have an order working to sell one of those spreads. If we get filled on this, we'll only be long 3 spreads, long 3 July and short 4 Decembers. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to modify this order. I can modify this order by double clicking on it, and I can change the price. I can cancel it. get more information on it. So we're trying to sell at 16.5. Let's increase the price. And you might notice that it looks like it should have been filled based on the bid ask that was showing, but the reality is I'm in a demo working on delayed data, so it's a little bit tricky. So we have to figure out where the market actually is, not where we can see it, which is a little bit of a challenge in a demo account when we're trying to do something like this. Sorry, I'm going the wrong way. Okay, so we're going to change it to 16. We're filled at 16 cents. And now you can see we're long 3 spreads, not 4. And if you want to manage the positions in a little different way, for example, from your positions window, you don't have to use this quote board. You could add a positions window. I'm going to click on this add widget button here and just type in positions. And you can do it this way. So if you didn't want to run it through your quote board, you could have the position window here on a different tab. The nice thing about this platform is you don't have to have it in any particular order. I can drag and drop this. I could drag it over here if I want to, so that I can look at my matrix, look at my positions, also look at the chart. So again, you can be creative with this. You don't have to follow exactly what we have going on. Once you have this spread symbol in your quote board, you no longer have to use the matrix to place trades, but you can. So if I clicked on the December-July spread like I had before, again, I can use these buttons here to place trades. I can also click on the symbol directly from my quote board and use these buy or sell buttons. So let's try to buy one of these spreads. We can see the bid ask right here. And then we can follow a standard order entry ticket, toggle our price up and down, and remember the big bar at the bottom is how to submit the limit order using these parameters. If you don't care about naming your price and you just want to hurry and get in, you can click buy market or buy at the ask, buy at the bid. We are filled back into one of those spreads at 16. So now you can see we have 4 and 4. I can use my positions tab and do it this way as well. If you wanted to leg in or out of a spread, for example, you're long July, you're short December. Let's say you think the market's going higher and you no longer want to be spread. You want to just be long July. You could click on your December product here and hit the sell button. If I hit sell, it's going to bring an order ticket up. I'm long 4. I can toggle the 4 and exit the position that way. You can also, another way to do that would be you can click right here and hit liquidate or close. The difference is liquidate's going to do it at the market. Close is going to pull up an order ticket and allow you to choose your price. Lastly, you can exit your position directly from the position window. If I click on my position here, right click, I can choose liquidate or close again from the position window. If I'd prefer to work off a trade ticket, we can do it that way as well. I can click on December corn. We have December corn here. I can buy 4 contracts and exit the position. If I want to exit the position as a spread, again, we can either use our spread symbol on the quote board, or we can click on the matrix here. My opinion is once you have the spread symbol built, you might as well keep it in your quote board and use that to trade, because the matrix is pretty awesome in that you don't have to know precise spread symbols or even monthly symbols or anything like that. You can just click on the square and start trading it, and that's great. But it's a little more cumbersome to find exactly which spread you're looking for than it is to just go to your quote board and click on the one that you have added there and can easily follow. Okay, so let's liquidate our spread directly from the quote board. I'm going to click on the spread symbol, monitor the quote, and I'm going to click sell. We are long 4 spreads. Remember, we bought the July, sold the December. If I click sell, I'm going to place the order at 15 3/4. I'm pretty sure that's going to get filled. I'm long 4 of them. I'm going to choose 4. And make sure that your order type is limit, not stop. I'm currently long July and short December, so this is accurate. If I want to offset the spread, it gives me the instructions so that I can make sure I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I'm buying the December, that'll get me out of December. I'm selling July, that's going to get me out of July. I place the order, we are filled, and you no longer see our open position here on the quote board. You can see the P&L. If I want to go to positions, remember I added this position tab, but it's no longer there. I can go to the DT view, which is the screen that I and most of my clients use to just monitor their accounts overall. And I can double check my account balance, make sure everything is exactly the way I believe it should be. Let's do this one more time just to make sure everybody understands what we're doing here. I went back to my grain page. I clicked on soybeans for May. Because I chose May, the first row is May. And then we start with columns of subsequent months: July, August, September, November, so on and so forth. So if I wanted to trade May soybeans against August soybeans, I would click on this matrix. If I wanted to trade May against September, I would click here. Let's do May, July. This is something that's pretty common for traders that are rolling from one contract that's one contract that's expiring to the next contract. So for example, if I'm long May beans and we're coming up against first notice day, I can no longer hold May beans, but if I want to be long in general, I can roll that to the July contract to stay long, but avoid expiration. And I do this by trading a spread. I'm going to first start with buying a May so we can see how this will work. Okay, I'm long a May outright. And I'm going to be rolling to the July contract. So I'm going to add July soybeans to my quote board. I'm going to put both of them at the very top so we can easily see what we're doing. And again, I'm long a May. I don't have a position in July, but I want a position in July because I need to roll from May to July. I'm going to click on my spread matrix. This is the May-July spread. We can see it at the top. If I put my cursor on it, we see it spelled out for us. And we can see the way the spread is built. If you buy it, you're buying a May and you're selling a July. We're going to be selling the spread because we want to sell the May and buy the July. But the first thing that I'm going to want to do is enter the spread symbol into my quote board so that I can see the spread itself, the bid ask, and any orders working on it. So again, I copy and paste the symbol from the information tab, click OK, and then I can drag it up to the top so I can easily monitor it. Now, please note, you don't have to add the symbol into your quote board. That's just a suggestion. And if you're simply rolling from May to July, which is what we're doing, it may not even be necessary. But if you want to, and I just want to make sure you understand how to do that. So if I do put the symbol into my quote board, I can hit buy or sell up here again, as I mentioned before, or I can, again, use the matrix. We're using May to July. So if I click on it here, we would be selling the spread. And the reason I know we're selling the spread is you see at the very top of this square, it says May minus July. And if I put my cursor on it, it says it's a positive May and a negative July. Our current position is we're long May and we want to be long July. So we would need to do the opposite of what this spread entails. So we're actually going to sell it. If I hit the sell button, it gives me the instructions in English so we can review. We're buying the July, we're selling the May. And if I hit place order, it gives us our working order. Again, we don't have to use this. I can go to DT view and look at my working orders here. Or I can also add working orders widget. So if that's something that you think is going to make your life easier, by all means, have it built in. You can drop and drag it anywhere you want it to be. I've got working orders. I can see it here. I can modify it with this pencil. I can double click it here and modify it. And I'm filled. So now let's verify to make sure we did exactly what we wanted to do. And we did. We're now long July soybeans, and our May soybeans no longer exists. So we rolled our position successfully using the spread matrix by merely clicking on the square and hitting the order buttons.